AmaBishop Episode 10 Review Vertical Bar Pastors Who Are Abusive in Their Own Families. Hello, online friends. Thank you for lending me your ears once more. Guys, what's an armor bearer? I asked this because it seemed like everybody on AmaBishop Episode 10 knew what an armor bearer was. Anyway, I said I was done with this show, but today, as I was minding my own business, I came across the repeat and took it as a sign that I must watch and share with you all. So here it is. The focus was on pastors who abuse their own families, or rather wives who have been abused by their pastor husbands. The Olsons. Mrs. Lucinda Olson was the first guest. She was with her husband's brother, who hadn't been in contact with her and the brother for over 10 years until his nephew posted about the disastrous marriage of his parents on Facebook. She spoke of the Viagra, condoms, sex tapes with 5 members of the congregation, threats, and how Bishop Theo Noble, to whom her husband was a bodyguard, refused to help her. Fury's only contribution was that he knows and has worked with Theo Noble, rolling eyes face. The second guest, Nabi Mansho Ngoma, highlighted the fact that abusive pastors are not only to be found in charismatic churches, but that mainline churches are not exempt. She and her children were beaten up by the pastor husband and father. The Methodist pastor she was married to also slept around with Wesley Guild ladies and impregnated some of them. The oppression from the women in the church who wouldn't allow her to speak out about her situation made things worse for her, and the Abantu Bazotini complex, aided by our repressive cultural norms and practices. They cut her off just as the story was getting interesting. She decided to fight back. In her words, "I beat the hell out of him that day." The third guest, Macy, broke my heart into a million little pieces, and then Nimrod had to constantly remind us of the right of reply that all the accused have. This because the alleged perpetrator is Bishop Zondo, whom they treated with kid gloves and failed to extract answers from a few episodes back. She is Zondo's niece, and she narrated her story in so much detail and so vividly. It happened when she was only 7 years old, but she remembers it as if it has just taken place. I don't even want to retell it. The family, on the other hand, felt like she created a mess by talking about her abuse, not the alleged perpetrator. #AmaBishop